All right, today we're going to talk about one of the biggest, most persistent headaches in web development. Why does your beautiful website suddenly look so broken on different screens? And we're going to look at a super simple tool that gives you an instant reality check for your browser. Come on, if you have ever built, designed, or even just tested a website, I am willing to bet you have asked this exact question, probably while staring at your phone with a deep sense of frustration. It's the classic mystery, right? Oh, you know the feeling. You've got the layout looking absolutely pixel perfect on your desktop. Then you check it on a phone and bam, a button's text is suddenly on 2 lines, the whole page feels claustrophobic, or some graphic you made just looks off. It is enough to make you want to pull your hair out. So, what is going on here? Well, the root of the problem is that screen size is actually way more complicated than it sounds. Your browser is constantly juggling a few different measurements, and each one tells a slightly different story. First off, you've got screen resolution. Think of this as the raw hardware spec. It's the total number of physical pixels that are literally packed into your screen. It's a fixed number, specific to your device. But here's the thing, your website doesn't get to use all of that. It has to live inside the viewport. That's the actual usable space inside the browser window itself. And this is the number that most of your CSS and your layout logic is really based on. But wait, it gets even trickier. There's also the visual viewport. And what's wild about this one is how much it changes. When you zoom in, or when that mobile address bar pops up and down, this measurement is constantly shifting. It's the actual visible area at any given moment. And this is where things get really interesting. The device pixel ratio, or DPR. This is the secret decoder ring for understanding modern high-res screens. It's the ratio between the pixels you write in your code and the actual physical pixels on the screen. So that 400 pixel wide box in your CSS, on a screen with a DPR of 2 or 3, it's actually using 800 or even 1200 physical pixels. This mismatch is so often the reason images look blurry or your canvas elements just feel wrong. So with all these different conflicting numbers flying around, how are you supposed to know which one is causing your bug? Well, that is exactly the problem this simple little web app was built to solve. It is an instant reality check. Its whole purpose is to just cut through all of that noise and give you a single, clear, live answer to that one critical question. No more throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. Just the facts about what your browser is really doing right now. So let's pop the hood and take a look at exactly what this tool puts at your fingertips. We're about to go from frustrating guesswork to some real, confident clarity. All right, so here's the breakdown. First, you get the standard viewport in CSS pixels. That's the number your media queries are listening to. Then you get the visual viewport, which, let me tell you, is absolutely critical for mobile because it shows you how that address bar is shrinking your usable space. You also get the device pixel ratio, which helps you finally debug those blurry image issues, and it even gives you an estimate of the physical pixels being used. It's like a complete diagnostic panel for your layout. And as a nice little bonus, it also has these built-in rulers, which are perfect for those moments you just need to quickly check if something's aligned or if your spacing is right without having to fire up a whole separate design tool. Pretty handy. Okay, so that's what it does, but how does this actually help you solve real-world problems? Let's talk about who really benefits from having this kind of info on hand. Honestly, this thing is a must-have for pretty much anyone on a web team. Developers, you can hunt down those infuriating breakpoint bugs in seconds. UI designers can validate that their vision actually translates to a real screen, not just their design file. QA testers can make sure behavior is consistent across devices. And hey, even content creators can get a true preview of what the end user is actually experiencing. So let's run through a classic scenario. Your mobile menu is overlapping the logo. Ugh. So you open the detector, you check the visual viewport, and boom! You immediately see that the usable screen area is smaller than you thought because of the browser's address bar. The light bulb goes off. You now know exactly what to adjust in your CSS. Or how about this one? You've built a cool animation with Canvas, but it just looks blurry and kind of small on a high-res phone. By comparing the CSS viewport to the estimated physical pixels, you instantly confirm the device pixel ratio is like 3. So now you know with total confidence you need to render your canvas at 3 times the resolution to make it look sharp. No more trial and error. And this one is for every developer who has ever hunted for a breakpoint bug. You know the situation? Your layout is perfect at 768 pixels, but it breaks somewhere just below it. With this tool, you just slowly resize your browser window and watch the viewport width update live. The second it breaks, you have your number.
You have pinpointed the exact pixel that's causing the problem.
So, when you put this all together, what's the big takeaway? This tool isn't trying to be complicated. It's designed to be your quick, go-to debug buddy. You know, the most valuable tools are the ones that just get out of your way. They solve a very specific problem, and they do it quickly, so you can get back to the important work. This detector is designed to do exactly that. Just remove the friction of viewport guesswork from your day. And I think this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. It's about moving from that state of confused guessing to a state of confident fixing. It gives you the data you need to make the right change the first time. So it really just leaves you with one question to think about. For anybody who builds for the web, how many hours of that frustrating trial and error could a simple, instant reality check like this actually save you in the long run?